Hey everyone, welcome to episode 2 of season 2, baby. We made
Season
it.
2.
We're here. I'm so excited. I will continue to be excited. I will continue. We are on Apple Podcasts. So if you are
Yeah.
listening on Apple Podcasts, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. So we've got Spotify.
Yeah, so
Apple
that's
Podcasts.
new from last season.
Yes.
Because we weren't on Apple Podcasts last
Yep.
season.
Yeah, so in my mind, I don't know where you listen to a podcast that's not Apple Podcasts or Spotify. I'm sure there's other places, but those
Or
feel like
YouTube.
yeah, those three kind of feel like the
Yeah.
top. So we're excited to be here. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for joining us. If you're a new listener, thank you. If you're an old listener, thank you. If you're in the middle, thank you.
Yes. Yes.
And so on today's episode, of course, we go over our glue.
Yeah.
We definitely dive into a little bit of some, needs.
Yeah.
We talk
How do
all
we
about
get our needs met?
Yeah, we talk all about our needs.
Inside and outside the bedroom.
That's right. So definitely a little bit of a personal.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this episode is definitely a little more of a personal episode.
In depth.
Yes, in depth.
Behind the curtain.
Yes. So as Jenilee will get into a little later, it's about to be Libra. It is Libra season.
Yeah.
So get nice and cozy for today's episode as we get a little personal, which I always appreciate, and I hope that everyone listening does too.
Yeah. We both got educated as well.
Yes, we've been educated. So I'm not sure exactly what she means by that.
Pop culture.
Oh, yeah.
And astrology.
Yes.
I star-splained you.
Yes, I've been star-splained. So, yeah. We'll be right back with today's episode. It's funny because we always say 3 and then do it, but somehow we both knew that we were just going to do 1, 2, and clap. So we're on the same page today. That's a good start.
Okay.
Hey, everyone. Hey, babe.
Welcome.
How are you?
I am good.
Good. We have, for those watching on the tubes, I think Spotify might have video too, but we're a little bit in a different setup here today. My mother is visiting, which is great. We always, she's always a good time. We always get a little bit of relief with Antler because he just becomes obsessed with Mima. But in that case, this was Jenilee's idea to give my mom our bed.
Yep.
Like literally the day before my mom gets here, she's like, we're laying in bed, about to go to bed. She's like, what if we just gave your mom our room? She'd be so much more comfortable. I was like, no, let's not do that. But ended up caving and giving in. So we are in my office, which is supposed to be the spare bedroom when people visit, but apparently now it's just our spare bedroom. And we turned this
pull-out couch.
It's not good. It's not a good pull-out couch. I don't know if it ever was or we just told ourselves it was at one point.
Right.
But it's not great. But we're making it work.
Well, it took us trying to sleep in it for the first time in a long time to remember that we really need something better.
Yeah, this ain't it. I don't know what is it, but this is not it.
Yeah.
We are here. But we're happy. We made it work. My mom is upstairs working in the kitchen.
Yeah.
We are in here making this podcast.
Yeah.
We're so happy to be here. And I wanted to jump right into glue. What's your glue this week, babe? How are you doing? What are things like?
Yeah.
You've taken like 3 deep breaths. We are only at like 2 minutes. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Okay. Just checking.
Today's a full moon, so
it's always something though, babe. There's a full moon this week. Last week it was Mercury in retrograde. Like, when is there not something going on?
We signed up to be in these times of absolute energetic chaos.
I don't know where. I must have been drunk when I signed on that dotted line because
yeah,
not what I would have signed up for.
No, definitely not. So I would
That's
say
her fourth deep breath. I'm gonna count the deep breaths.
I'm
for
a
the day.
deep breath kind of gal. I take deep breaths before everything that's important in my life. So my glue of the week is I started a new movement program, a bar program on my Peloton app. And I got through the second week, which means I'm halfway through the program. And I would say movement and exercise is the easiest thing for me to quit or be like, I'm bored with this. I want to do something new. So staying committed to it feels, I don't know, like it's keeping me grounded or something. Just keeping a routine right now seems like it's, even if it's not like a strict routine and like the times change up every now and then, like just knowing these are the things I'm going to get done today at some point. And if there's a flow and a rhythm, then amazing. But if not, like I can still do them.
Yeah.
Like,
how do you feel now that it's the next day? Last night, part of your routine is making these TikToks. How do you feel today, having pushed yourself to make it yesterday?
So I am on TikTok. I don't think I told anyone that. I'm now on TikTok and it feels good. I mean, I resisted it for a long time and I had one friend who was like, you need to be on there. And I just see you on there. So I'm on there and it's actually really useful. And I thought it was going to be like me having to learn to edit videos and all that, but I don't even edit my videos. I just talk and stop talking and throw it on up there. So it feels good. I feel like I'm getting my message out there. I feel like I'm able to talk about things that feel relevant and important to me and my work. So if you're interested in more astrology forecasts and cosmos glimpses, then my TikTok is at Readings by Jenilee.
Boom.
Check it out.
Boom. So routine, movement.
Yeah, just
sticking
routine.
Through your routine this week.
Exactly. Yeah. Just not
pushing through.
Dropping the ball.
That's how I feel like every day of my life.
Yeah.
When my alarm goes off, 4:45, I'm like, gotta push through. Literally. That's my whole life. Awesome. Well, I'm happy that you're sticking to it. And I'm happy that you made the video yesterday. I feel like I tried to push you without pushing you, because the minute you push Jenilee is the minute Jenilee does not budge. That's kind of how she works. So if you want her to do something, you have to kind of lay out all the ingredients, but be like, we don't have to make cookies, but here's all the ingredients for cookies, and then she'll be like, I have this great idea. Let's make cookies.
Well, I feel like I've heard you say this enough times to realize that I should just go along with it. And that my resistance is a bunch of BS.
Yeah.
That does not serve me and is not productive. So
you always feel better later. You always feel better. Like that's what I mean. Like the next day, you'll be happy you pushed yourself, even if it didn't come out great for whatever it is, Yeah.
Yeah. Like I've been around long enough now and we've been together long enough to be like, all those other times that I resisted or I didn't do the thing or I didn't push myself were all those other times I ended up disappointed.
Right. Exactly. So. Yep. Well, good. I'm happy. Whatever I can do to support you, babe.
Yeah.
Whether it's pushing you or giving you space. Even this morning, I was like, why don't you go do your routine before you come talk to me? Before you volunteer or sign up for anything.
And I just take a deep breath and walk away.
Yeah, all your deep
More
breaths.
deep breaths.
More deep breaths. So, so my glue this week is really just, I would definitely say routine, right? Like you were saying, but even just to get more granular, like I know last week it was about gratitude, and I think this week it's really just about feeling like excited. So excitement for what we're building here in Colorado. And I have an attachment to my mom moving to Colorado. I think we both do. Last night I had a deep conversation with Jenilee. I was like, we gotta let go of this. we gotta let go of this because we cannot control her liking it here. We can control nothing, and we have to stop trying so hard.
Yeah.
And luckily, it was only one day of trying, because when we try hard, we start to butt heads, because I'm trying and you're trying and we don't know if it's gonna work, right? So we've let go of trying. So that's good, letting go of that. But just, I think excitement for when I'm showing my mom the area. Like, I do love it. Like, I'm looking at the mountains and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I love looking at these mountains. I've said it before. I'll continue to say it. I lived on an island my whole life. We've lived in St. Petersburg in Florida, right near the beautiful, crystal clear, blue water. And I still think the mountains are better. Like, even as a Cancer, like, I think the mountains are better. The mountains, everyone can enjoy. The ocean, or a lake, you have to be living on it. Like, literally. You have to live on the water in order to enjoy it every day. The mountains, I'm driving to the gym. Beautiful mountains. I saw the moon today. There's a full moon.
See it? See, that's a reason to get up.
I saw the big moon and the mountain. It was right above the mountains. And then, like, as I was driving down the hill, it went behind the mountains. And, today when I got out of the gym, I look and it's like a crystal clear day. There's no fog, no smoke from the fires or anything. And it's just crystal clear and beautiful. And I just was like, I'm just like excited for the winter to come. I'm not trying to push winter to come soon. I'm good with it taking its time.
We are seeing fall peak out, though.
Yeah, we're seeing fall happen. I'm getting on my phone, like, Colorado means, it means like the colorful state or something like that, or like colors or something. And, so I'm just excited to be here, and it's coming out in having someone come visit. And I know that a lot of people have said that, like, the Springs is not like the best part of Colorado, and there's different things going on, but it's also really great. And we've wanted to move to a small town. We didn't want to live in a big city, and this isn't a small town. I wouldn't say that, but it's not huge. No. It's not, the downtown is not really that big. Like, there's like little nooks and crannies we're learning about. So yeah, I'm just excited about being here. I'm excited for the fall to come. I'm excited for winter. I'm not rushing anything. I'm just excited for the process to happen. And that really came up when my mom came, I think, is when. I mean, I've always been excited, but I'm just like, oh, I want to show mom the sunset. I want to show mom this. I don't even know if she's appreciating it. Yeah. But I'm excited to show her these things. So that's like where I'm at this week.
We're taking her to the pumpkin patch on the grand opening day.
Yeah. I mean, I think, there's a lot of things. I'm excited for, our Christmas tree, cutting down our Christmas tree, putting it in our house. Like, I love the house that we're renting right now. So, excitement. Yeah. I'm feeling excited.
I like it.
Yeah. I love it. So, again, thanks everyone for joining us. Thanks for all the emails coming in, all the comments. We love it. Our Instagram and TikTok are in their infancy, but we're here. We're making it happen. We're doing our best. As always, leave a comment if you're watching. Also, you can always email us at gluedtogetherpodcast@gmail.com. And you can let us know what's your glue for this week. We love to hear it. We read all the emails, read all the comments. Thank you so much for having them come in.
It's time for the Queer Money Moment.
Yes, so this Queer Money Moment is brought to you by BeYourMoneyHero.com. Ready to take control of your finances and become your own money hero? Head over to BeYourMoneyHero.com and start your and start your journey to financial empowerment today.
Today's topic is no interest credit cards.
Yes.
Did you know if you have a no interest credit card offer, you can be hit with all the interest if you do not pay off every penny by the end of the promotional period?
Yes, we actually have taken advantage of no interest credit cards, particularly from Best Buy. That's the only time. And it's worked really well in our favor. The thing that we do is we just calculate. if we spent $1,000 and we have 12 months, we just literally do the math. We usually do a month early. So how much money would we have to pay each month for 11 months instead of 12 months to pay off the $1,000? That's how we've done it. We've bought our washer and dryer from Best Buy. We more recently, for my birthday, I got a new TV. We upgraded from our Toshiba 40-inch TV to a beautiful Roku 65-inch TV. Very excited about it. And we also got an espresso machine for Jenilee's 40th.
Yeah, which honestly has been
We love it.
incredible and amazing.
So
And
good.
we're never paying like $7 for a latte
Never again. I can't even now. I bought Americano. It was like $5 something. I was like, this is ridiculous. It's
I
like,
even made homemade PSL
well, last week.
syrup.
Oh, yeah.
And pumpkin
That's
spice
right.
latte syrup.
That's right.
And it's
That's actually better than the pumpkin spice latte we made last week, right?
yeah, so we're gonna, but both were good.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on what you have on hand, but this is like a nice, like you make it once, you have it for a couple of weeks.
Right.
It's easy. Whereas the other one was like, you have to kind of put time in every time to make this latte.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we can share both.
Yeah, we should. We should in
Yeah.
the future. Maybe when October actually hits, we'll share our
I know.
yeah, so that's what we've used with our no interest, because if you don't pay off that 1,000, you will get interest on the entire 1,000. So just a little tip
Yep.
as we are on our own financial journey, which is why we
Yes.
love working with BeYourMoneyHero.com. So thank you so much
It's been awesome.
for working with us, and let's jump in.
Okay.
So next up is pop culture. So much has happened in pop culture. This is the moment of our episodes where I teach Jenilee a little something about pop culture. I wouldn't say I'm the most poppy culture-y person. I don't know everything that's going on. I am a bit delayed when I learn, but Jenilee is more delayed. So it makes me feel like and seem like I'm in the know and I'm cool and I'm hip and people get it. Like I get it and I'm teaching her. So this week, lots of things happened. So the Emmys happened. Okay. I don't even know. Did you know the Emmys happened?
No, I knew the VMAs happened.
Yes, VMAs did happen. So the Emmys happened. I don't know too much. I didn't watch it. I know that Reindeer got a lot of awards, and Shogun. Shogun I'm not interested in. Shogun is like a very fighty. I don't like fighting, war, like death type of stuff. But Reindeer I really wanted to watch, but I heard that it was kind of creepy. Do you know what Reindeer is?
Mm-mm.
Reindeer number top on Netflix. To my knowledge, it's about a comedian who works at a bar and meets this woman who becomes his stalker. It actually is supposed to be really, really good. I would actually like us to watch it. Maybe we'll start exploring it if you're interested. Maybe.
For spooky season?
Yeah, maybe for spooky season. Maybe this is the time where there's that other murder show you kind of want to watch. What is it called?
High Potential.
High Potential. It's
About
like
a mom who like accidentally becomes
on Hulu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't ask me how I found out about this.
Looks like a
show,
comedy. I can't tell if I'm gonna like it or not, but
but yeah,
we'll
I think it's
see.
a little bit of maybe everything.
yeah.
We'll find out.
So that Emmys happened. Did not watch, but But then also the VMAs. Yes. So VMAs. Jenilee and I tried to tune in.
I was like, this is why we're old. Because
Well, they didn't. It wasn't streaming on certain
Right.
things. We don't have cable.
it used to be so easy to watch the VMAs.
because everyone had cable, so you just turned on channel
right, but that's I guess how
33
long it's
or
been. I don't know.
52. It was 52 when
Because
I was a kid.
I was obsessed with the VMAs.
Yes.
I was obsessed with like music videos, MTV, BET.
Yep. VH1.
You know, VH1. You know, like I was like I knew the dance moves to all the music videos. Like I was on it.
Well, the VMAs could work on telling us old folks how to watch it a little bit better.
Right. Yeah.
They kept saying Paramount Plus, but then I went to Paramount Plus and you couldn't watch it. So I was very confused. Then
Yeah.
also, but I will say they had Carson Daly come on. They had, Taylor Swift won like a bunch of multiple awards. They had other, like, they did a Britney Spears segment without Britney, but just like they're trying to pull you and me in. You know, they're like, we know that there are watchers out there who are nostalgic for like Carson Daly and all of these. Eminem opened, like, you know, so they're coming for us, but they're not quite there yet, because Jenilee didn't know. If Jenilee knows, that's how you know you've made it.
Did you ever go to TRL?
I never went to TRL, no, but
I went
watched
to TRL. I got to see Maroon 5.
You have so much pride. You have so much pride, Aura, now.
Yeah. Well, this was, you know, I was cool, and I'm still cool.
You were cool, babe. You're still cool to me. You're still cool to me. That's why we're here today. So we also watched Chappell Roan.
Yes.
That was great.
She's
a boss.
Yeah.
I was vibing out to her the other night, drinking a glass of wine on the deck.
I want to do her astrology chart.
Dancing. You should.
If anybody talks to her, let her know.
Yeah, let her know. And then we also, like I said, this is a big week. We also had Taylor Swift's presidential announcement that she will be voting for Harris and Walz.
Yep.
So that was really cool.
Yep. Love the cat picture.
Yep. Signed motherless cat lady or whatever she signed it as. That was epic. Really pissed off Trump. Did you know that Trump wrote in all caps, "I hate Taylor Swift"? He posted that.
You did tell me
tell
that.
you that. Yeah. Well, sometimes it's hard to hold things in.
I don't follow him. But...
No, nobody who follows him. I mean, maybe if you're curious. Like, I follow some people just because I'm like, what are they gonna say today? You know what I mean? And then so that was funny, because, you know, I don't think anyone cares that he hates Taylor Swift. And then also the other movie I really want us to watch, which I don't think is officially out yet, I think is still going through the film festivals, is the Will Ferrell movie, Will and Harper. So this movie was getting teased at the beginning of the summer. I think it's very close to being either for rent or buy or just streaming, but I don't think it's there yet. It's about Will Ferrell and his best friend, who's a trans woman, Harper. And it's about their transition. I believe Harper has transitioned within the last 3 or 4-ish years. Okay. And so about how Will Ferrell had a lot of questions. It's supposed to be a comedy. It's supposed to be documentary style.
Okay.
And they're supposed to be asking like some good questions. Like, apparently Harper has questions for Will and Will has questions for Harper. So I'm excited to see that, because it looks like a real case of, I had this best friend and they transitioned, as opposed to what is constantly being put out there, which is, you know, not a good storyline. It seems like an honest, open. I hope it is. Right. I haven't actually seen it. I hope that it's open and honest. Something I definitely really want to see. So that's kind of what happened in pop culture. Did you know about any of those things? You knew about the VMAs, and you knew about Trump. Because I told you.
Because you told me.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that was your learning. I'm sure that there are people out there who don't know these things also. So there's, of course, other things.
Let me know I'm not alone.
There's also other things out there. But, hey, I mean, this is also why you have your time to tell me about what's happening with the stars. Because I don't know. I don't know what's happening besides what you tell me.
Star-splain you.
Yeah, star-splain me, baby. Get it.
So we are entering Libra season this week, and that means we're saying goodbye to Virgo season. So Virgo season kind of gets us organized for the fall season, gets the new schedules going, gets everybody back to school,
Virgo.
You know, starting all their new things. And that is coming to an end. We're entering Libra season, which is relationship season. So Libra season is all about other people. So like our relationships with other people, seeing patterns in those relationships, seeing how there's a lack of harmony in certain relationships, whereas maybe there's more harmony in some other relationships. So just being able to go into this next season, right? So it starts on September 22nd, which is also known as the fall equinox.
Okay.
I
thought it was the 21st. This is 22nd?
The 22nd.
Oh, okay.
So that is the official start of fall.
Okay.
And so we know that Libra season is the official start of fall, which makes sense because fall is cozy season, right?
And Libras are cozy?
Well, relationships are cozy.
Oh, right. That's true.
And really it's about identifying who do I want to be cozy with and who do I not want to be cozy with? And not just romantically, right? Like family members, friends. We don't have to keep the same level of intimacy with people that no longer fit who we're becoming. And so that's what Libra season is about. It's about not just going at your default relationship status of like, okay, this is who's been in my life my entire life and I'm just going to like smile and nod and keep it that way. It's more like taking stock of who do I want to give more time and space to, more energy to, and who do I need to maybe set some boundaries with. So that's exciting. And yeah, I mean, planning a scary movie night around who do I want to cling to when I'm afraid on all of the different levels is a really good way to think about this season going forward.
Would you make a bold prediction? Are you open to that?
Sure.
Would you say that people who get together during Libra season are more or less likely to still be together by January 1st?
It's a tough one because there's a healthy expression of Libra and then there's a dark, shadowy expression.
What about the difference between if you got together in Virgo season versus Libra season? Who's making it to January 1st?
It's not as clear cut as that.
I want you to just give me an answer.
There's so many factors involved. There's just so many factors involved. It's like,
fine.
What are those people's signs?
Okay. All right.
Right?
Okay.
Like, what is their relationship history? Where does Libra fall in their chart? Right? Because if they're the smile and nod kind of Libra, where they're just like appeasing everyone and people pleasing out the wazoo, then they might make it to January 1st, but they might be growing resentful.
I hear you. I love you for all of the little, caveats that every person is different. My prediction is that if you got together in Virgo season, you're not making. You're going to break up right before the holidays.
I mean...
And if you get together in Libra season, you're making it through. We're going to come back. We're going to figure it out. We're going to come back with the answers. Y'all are going to help us out.
Okay.
I'm making that prediction. All right. We'll be right back.
Hey everyone, I've got to share my love for Ziggy's Naturals, our go-to LGBTQ-owned CBD brand. So their CBD roller is my lifesaver every single month. It really helps when I have cramps those couple of days during my period. And sometimes Aiden steals it after his workouts too because he's got the sore muscles.
Because I hurt myself.
Yes, because he hurts himself. And for those cozy nights in that we're looking forward to in this fall season, we're both hooked on their CBD and Delta 8 combo. It helps us relax, be present with each other, and get a good night's sleep.
Want to try it out? You can head over to Ziggy's Naturals and use our code GLUED at checkout for actually 15% off. Last episode, I thought it was only 10. Checked in, it's 15. So 15. Even better, 15% off. And again, so if you just go to ziggysnaturals.com or check them out on Instagram, you put in GLUED, GLUED, you can get 15% off your order. Go check them out and see for yourself. All right, folks. Well, we're back with our main topic of today, which is getting our needs met inside and outside of the bedroom because, some people, you have different needs sometimes, Sometimes you're really clingy. Sometimes you're the dom in the bedroom, and sometimes you're not outside the bedroom. So, everyone's got their needs.
Totally.
Where to go through ours? Would you like to start off first, or would you like me to start?
You can start.
Okay. All right. So first and foremost, I'm going to start with actually outside the bedroom, which I know everyone was really anticipating me to start with outside the bedroom because that's the more exciting part. But overall, what I've found, like, with our needs when it, like, right now and even last season, Jenilee are still, like, working on this financial thing. We are still, it is tough out there. I don't have to tell you that. I'm sure 99.9% of the people listening, they are feeling all of the inflation. Everything fucking costs more money than it did a year ago. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So, really dealing with our financial restraints, really when it comes to us romantically, and not sexually, but like romantically, like going out on dates, as a family, buying things for Antler or going on adventures, right? Like we're going to a pumpkin patch, like we gotta like budget for that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then also just like as just me, Aiden, right? It's like really hard. I got $100 for my birthday, and I put it right in the bank, and I have been slowly spending it. But it has been really helpful for me because I have made that $100 last since July. I mean, it's now September, which I guess isn't that long, but it could be long for a guy who traditionally, like, money. My mom would always be like, money eats a hole in your pocket, meaning once you get it, you really like to spend it. But I have been able to. I went on a trip for work. I was able to get a beer at the bar, and not worry about it. That was really helpful. I had on a sweater before we started this, but I took it off because it was hot. I got that at Costco, which is very old man of me. But I don't care. It was on sale. It was $14.99, $15. I was able to buy that, and I didn't have to wear it traditionally. Like in the past, I would just be like, I can't get this. I'm just not even going to look at it. So that has really helped me individually, right? But it has been hard when it comes to us romantically and in the house and stuff, and so been really trying to do little things, right? So being able to be like, okay, well, what, we've been drinking wine less, right? Because it costs money. And so we've been like, okay, well, instead of just like drinking this wine and watching a show, let's go sit on the deck. Let's watch the sunset. Let's put some music on, like I did the other night, where I was like, oh, I really want to dance. Like, let's put some music on, and I'm dancing. I was like, do you care that I'm dancing right now? And she was like, no, drinking her glass of wine, sitting, right? Like, so really trying to, because we like to spend quality time together. I like to have a drink. You know what I mean? Even with the, and this isn't like a plug because they're a sponsor, but like even with the gummies, right? Like in the gummies, like if I'm having a hard day, I'm like, I'm going to have a gummy, babe. I'm having a gummy tonight. We're doing it, and like that has been able to relax me and just being, I know I said it last week, but gratitude is still a thread that is keeping me up. And so that's really how I've been getting my needs met. And I still have needs that are not met, right? Like I still am really, really craving a group of friends here. Or even just a couple of other friends. I have a good friend here, but he's got a family too. I'm really looking for other friends. I'm looking for like a weekly or monthly get together. I really want to go play pool downtown, and again, like, it's just like, I don't want to go by myself. You know what I mean? So I definitely have like individual needs that are not being met. I know that you and I have places we'd like to go out to eat and stuff. And, those needs aren't necessarily getting met. Even with Antler, like, I mean, he wants he's a kid. He wants everything all the time, but really trying to balance what he needs with what he wants, with learning opportunities, and so it's definitely, it has been hard to get those needs met, when it comes to just like, again, like you and me and me, Antler and me, you, me, and Antler.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Are we going to do I'm going to do my outside needs then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
That was an extra deep breath.
So, for me, I did write some notes just because I want to stay on target. So I think identifying what triggers me, what triggers me emotionally to myself and out loud, right? Because a lot of the times I'll just acknowledge something to myself and like not say it in the moment, or let it not be said for too long, and then it builds up,
Right.
and I snap or explode, or it
No,
just
you don't.
doesn't go well. So I've had to acknowledge that being on time and planning is really important to me these days. And it's definitely newer for me. I think, there's just been many times where you're kind of over planning, babe. Like this is kind of a lot, right? Or, and to me it's not, but like just being able to have the conversation, or like say why this is important to me, or like, and like if it's about being on time, like, okay, like let's talk through it way before that morning. Like let's talk through it the night before. Let's put expectations on the table. Let's, have a flow and have a breakfast plan and have, like just how can I make it easier to get that need met, which the need is I want to be on time. Right. So like, how can I get that need met? I need to talk more. I need to say things more. I need to like talk about things before they're happening, because I've already identified overall, I want to be on time. So if I know that, then it's my job to ahead of time plan for that and communicate what I need from you and what I need from Antler, and, in order to make that
yourself.
happen. And for myself.
Because I feel like a lot of times you want to be on time, but then you're running late yourself, and then you get mad at everyone else. And I'm like, we're literally in the car right now waiting for you.
Right. Well, I don't think that happens as much anymore, but I hear you.
Yeah, no, not as much. Not as much as since, we've talked about it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, I think the thing about that is
identified
like,
it.
Again, it's the dropping the ball in the communication, right?
Right.
Like, you didn't tell me you were ready to be in the car. I assumed you were doing something else. So I started doing something else. And then there we are. We're late, right? So I think just being realistic with what the need is and what it's going to take to get that need met, I think is the hardest thing. But it can be done.
Yeah.
Not every time, but it can be done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's it.
So, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm hearing you loud and clear on today's episode that you need to be on time, since that's the only thing you just shared about your needs being met. So I will be on time, ready to rock, shoes on, ready to go all the time.
Okay.
I don't know how you're going to Antler on board with that. That's really the bigger thing.
Right.
I can be ready. Can he be ready? I don't know. I
Well,
guess we're gonna find out.
Yeah, it's just more and more communication.
Yeah.
And it's been forever, right? Like it's like, oh, look at that. It's another opportunity for communication.
I know, but communication
Increased
is
communication.
like overload sometimes.
It really is. It definitely is.
It's like, how do you identify what is over communication? Like,
yeah,
you know
because
what I mean?
it's a hard
lot.
balance. It feels like you either live in one extreme or the other, where it's like nobody communicated anything, or it's been over communicated and talked to death.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're trying to find.
I feel like our cues are just like
ground.
Emotional. Like, I feel like I can definitely know when I'm overloaded, and I'm just like, we've already talked about this 7 times. I'm not doing it again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I literally sometimes say that. I'm like, I'm not talking about this again.
Yeah.
We've already decided. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's, I can just tell, but I always feel like it's a little too late. Like I always feel like, oh my gosh, I've been over communicated and now I'm coming at it with like this like annoyed energy.
Right.
When I would like to be able to catch it sooner, but it doesn't really happen. I don't think I have yet to catch it ahead of time. I always catch it when I'm like, oh my God, are we really doing this again? You know what I mean? So.
Right.
But I think it's also like just to be more decisive and be like, okay, we made that plan. We're not going to talk about it 7 more times.
Right. And I've just come to a new place of acceptance of like all of the little things that need to be done in a day in order to create more ease in like the schedule, the flow, the run of the day. And I used to despise like doing the little things, but now I'm just like, I kind of have gratitude for like, oh yeah,
keep
like
you sane.
I get to do this so that when I come and try to make my cup of coffee, it's going to be super easy and more enjoyable.
Right. One need that I need met right now is I need to be able to see your microphone recording.
Okay. Gotcha.
Because the anxiety level of not being able to see it on your screen is a lot for me.
Okay. Yep, there it is.
You're still going? You're still rolling? Okay, good.
I'm at 41 minutes.
Fabulous. Okay, great. Fantastic.
Yep.
So now let's talk about the inside of the bedroom.
Okay.
How are you feeling inside the bedroom? So do you want to start or you want me to start?
I need you to start.
Oh, okay. All right. So I have in my little notes here when it comes to getting needs met, I have identified in the last couple of months, I mean, I think I've always known this, but I've identified it outwardly to myself and to you, is that like if I'm not in a good emotional state, if I don't feel secure or safe or just good, like if I'm not feeling it, then like sex is off the table. And it's been annoying, not just for you, but for me too, because sometimes I'll spend the first half of the day being like, yeah, I'm gonna get it tonight. Like it's happening. This is gonna be a great night. Like I'm gonna get him to bed early. Like I got this whole plan, and then something will happen, and I will just get totally thrown off, and I'm just like, yeah, that's not happening. And it's just like the flip of a hat or drop of a coin or whatever that saying is, and it becomes difficult because then my need is I want to have sex, but then it doesn't actually happen. And I can't meet it because I'm too emotional. And so I've been trying to figure out like, oh, like if I'm high stress, like how do I combat that? How do I be like, okay, well, this activity could relieve some of that stress. This activity could make you feel better than you're feeling right now, right? Like, but it's getting over the hump. And I know that a lot of times we clash because it's like I'll be emotional and you'll be ready, and then I'm like I'm not interested. You know what I mean? And especially when it comes to high points of stress that last over time, because it's like I'll wake up and be like, okay, I'm going to the gym, like it's gonna be a good day, and then I get stressed again, and then I'm like I'm not interested, and then I wake up and I'm like it's gonna be a good day, and then I get stressed, and then I'm not interested, and then like 4 or 5 days could go by, and it's just like, okay, well, at what point am I going to figure out a way to be present in the now and enjoy this really fun thing that we can do together that could relieve that stress, you know? And yeah, so it's just like I've started to identify my own sexual needs. I'm getting in the way of them. You know what I mean? And that's been really frustrating, and needing everything to be perfect is just really unrealistic and not going to happen, or at least it's going to happen less often than it isn't going to happen. And I've just been trying to acknowledge those things, right? Like trying to find that balance between like, you know what, I am tired or I am emotional and I'm really not actually ready for this, or okay, I might be emotional, but is this a fleeting emotion that's gonna ruin our connection time, or is this a deeper emotion that, you know, we could still connect in a way that's more like you're supporting me, or I'm voicing things, and like we're connecting not sexually, but we're connecting as emotional partners, you know?
Right.
So that's definitely
Yeah.
been something that has been getting in the way of getting my needs met. You know, like it's, and I know that it's in your way too, because you've expressed that to me many times, that like things have to be perfect. And it's true. Like I just emotionally need it, just, you know what I mean? Plus, I also feel like my libido is higher in the daytime, but that does not work with our schedule at all.
Right.
And there's nothing I can really do to change that. Like there's just not time that we can do to change that.
Right. So for me, getting my needs met inside the bedroom kind of aligns with the same things that can help me get my needs met outside the bedroom.
Communication.
So
You want to talk more?
I feel like I'll have a sexual thought and I don't share it, and I like subconsciously like wait for you to like read my mind or something. That I had the thought, like somehow, like, and it's crazy as I unpack it, and as I even prepared for this episode, it's like, it's kind of crazy that you can expect someone to really read your mind. But when it comes to sex, I think that a lot of us do. I think that we are so, on some level, uncomfortable naming our sexuality, naming our sexual desires, that we just come up with this ridiculous notion that the other person will figure it out even if we don't say it. Or we don't allude to it at least. And so the other night I like very awkwardly like stumbled into like trying to tell you like that I was having thoughts, and even though you weren't able to meet me in them, it was like so good for me to be able to like tell you instead of, because I do think that telling each other gives us more time to like catch up to where each other are at. Right. Like, even though you were like, oh yeah, well, like I
think you all,
I feel,
I want to interrupt you because I think you tell me often. Like I think verbal communication is easier than it ever has been for us. To be like, do you want to have sex tonight? You know what I mean? But what I actually think was the most different, and I don't mean to like tell you, you know what I mean? But just the biggest difference is that you showed me. Because you tell me, you communicate. So, do you want to have sex tonight? You know what I mean? Like, you say that to me, but you showed me, which was so different. Right? Because do you want to have sex tonight is just like leaving the door open, and it's like, oh, you can or you cannot. But like, you like came up to me and you showed me. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
I think that was actually the biggest difference. So it wasn't about communicating verbally. It was actually much more about communicating with your body. And it wasn't about like wearing lingerie or anything, that, you know what I mean? But you just communicated by, you know, like, you know, just like, oh, like touching my hair and like moving closer to me and like, you know, putting your head on me. Like, you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, I get that. I think you're right. I think just for me, like it felt like I did something different, and so like
You
this is
did
the
do
way,
something different.
right? Like I think that this is just my way of naming it, but I'm hearing that you experienced it differently.
Well, again, like I guess when you say communicated it,
Yeah,
I'm thinking words.
yeah.
But I'm hearing you that's not what you're saying. You're saying,
Yeah, well, I think communication is in one way or another getting your point across, or saying something. And you're saying that I said it in a different way because I said it with more than just words.
Right.
And I think that, yeah, just not not letting myself tuck anything away and just kind of like getting it out there, because I know that there's a better chance of it happening if both of us know that the other person is interested, right? Because then we can meet each other. We could try to meet each other. We can try to rise to the occasion, so to speak. And it doesn't always happen, like you were saying. I mean, sometimes I, can't get there either for whatever reason. But like, I think that when there's an open window and clarity about that open window, you have more time to work with, more time to like bring yourself to that space. Because for me, it's like I need to energetically get there. And I think the difference is like, I told you in the moment that I was feeling it, and that's why it translated in more than just words, because I was feeling it. I didn't just have the thought and then like, communicated it at some point. It was like, no, I'm feeling this now, and I'm going to let you know now, because you're here, and like, but I think more often than not, I have in the past just let it be something that I didn't say until the last minute.
Right.
Or like it's too late, and like me not respecting the fact that you get up really early, or like not intentionally, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. You think you learned that somewhere?
Well, yeah, I think that it literally mirrors what has to happen outside of the bedroom for success as well, which is saying things as they come up instead of me tucking them away for some perfect moment.
Right. Or just thinking, well, I'll get over this, so I'm just going to not say anything.
Yeah,
I can relate to that.
And I think on some level we're like conditioned to like tuck away pleasure, or tuck away, like what we feel in the moment, because we should think about it first. And, like it's vulnerable. So we should make sure it's safe before we say it. Like all of these things. And I think that the more that we've grown as a couple and gotten closer and our intimacy has deepened, it's like that's easier, because we hold the space for each other, and we have reflected that each of us appreciates when the other person is like vulnerable and lets themselves like just be known without any mystery. Like, I don't have to figure you out. You're not a puzzle. Like I've solved many puzzles today, and you are not one of them, and I am so grateful for that.
Yeah, like in our early 20s it was fun. Puzzles were fun.
Yeah.
And now we're like, we got a kid. I got a job that's like grown in need and demand. Like I got no time for puzzles, girl. I ain't got no time.
Yeah. And it's not easy, right, to like get yourself out of that pattern, but like when you start experimenting with it and you're like, wow, like this actually feels good. This feels cozy, right? Like to just, because now even if we don't have sex, there's an intimacy need met.
Right.
Because we're happy with each other. We're not going to bed, bitter or resentful or annoyed. We're just kind of like, oh yeah, like we're open with each other, and it's okay.
Right.
We're on the same page, but we're just being honest about what we can and cannot give each other right now.
Yeah, I agree. So I feel like what I'm going to take into this next week is you want to be on time. And I'm gonna try to look and listen for more communication that's not coming from your mouth. It's not words.
Okay. I like that.
Good. What are you taking into the next week? Doesn't have to be from today's episode. I'm just curious.
I think I'm gonna take just trying to be more intentional with picking up on your emotional states and inviting you to be redirected instead of going further down that path.
Yeah, I can get in there. I love it. Awesome. Well, thanks for tuning in to today's episode. If you loved what you heard, please take a moment and leave us a review or write a comment. It really helps other listeners find us. If you've got a question, a story, or you just want to say hello, we read every single email. You can drop us an email at gluedtogetherpodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget to follow us on our new Instagram and TikTok. As of this moment, there's no videos on there, but there will be. I promise. It's just, we're working on it, people.
Yes.
It's going to happen. Instagram, TikTok, at Glued Together Podcast. And until next time, take care. We love you. Thanks for listening.
Thank you so much.
Bye.